The America's Cup is an invitation to all professional boat designers, team managers, and racers to show their skills and come first in a battle on the waters. But have you ever wondered how much the competitors invest into winning? Welcome to Tales of Titans, the place where business and history come to life. Let's see why these boats and their management come at such a high price and what the winners get out of the events. In the world of yacht racing, the most notable and respected event is known as the America's Cup, and the winner gets this ornate, meticulously crafted ewer from 1848. It is earned after a showdown between a challenger and the current trophy holder. The trophy was originally called the NYYC 100-pound Cup, and the way it got its new name was due to its first winner. The trophy was awarded in 1851 by the British Royal Yacht Squadron to the winning yacht, which was called America. This schooner was owned by a squadron called the New York Yacht Club. Then, after a couple of years in 1857, the cup was donated permanently to the NYYC with a few extra terms called the Deed of Gift. It unified the renaming of the trophy to the America's Cup and laid out the criteria required to be met for any challenger who wishes to obtain the trophy. What makes this race special is the fact that it's a one-on-one match. Up until 1970, there had been only one challenging group to step up and race against a champion once they met the Deed of Gift requirements. But later, multiple sailing teams applied at once to try and get a shot at this marvelous and legacy-carrying trophy. So, to make the matchup fair and to maintain the tradition, another tournament was introduced to select the best qualified challenger. This new cup was called the Prada Cup, more commonly known as the Louis Vuitton Cup. Such was the prestige and honor that came with winning the America's Cup, and it did not come cheap. Sailing teams spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the competition, with the most recent winner said to have spent more than $300 million on his run for the championship. The minimum that teams spend is close to $100 million, and anything below that would have been considered as underprepared for a title like that. The trophy was held for more than a century by the NYYC, as they successfully defended their title as America's Cup champions from 1857 to 1983. You can ascertain how amazing they were as racers once you know that they defended their title 24 times in a row. The ones who dethroned these Knights of the Seas were the Royal Perth Yacht Club, who sent out their 12-meter class yacht, the Australia II. Just as the America's Cup is the oldest international competition in sports, the NYYC had the longest consecutive running streak of wins in it as well. So, what's the prize money for winning a competition of this stature? Let's rewind a little bit back to the cup's origins. The original name of the cup reflected its worth, which was just 100 pounds. Back then, that wasn't a lot of money. Today, however, there hadn't been any confirmation of the prize money awarded to the winner apart from the ownership of the trophy. But rumor has it that the winning team gets around $100 million for winning the challenge. Notice how the investment made by competitors for winning the race is far more than the rumored win earnings? Yep, the competitors are in it for the honor and willingly put in as much money as needed to earn the trophy and title as the America's Cup champions. It can be safely said that whoever wins the next America's Cup will have stacks upon stacks of bills that they'll use for possession of the trophy. If we look back in history again, we'll see the estimated worth of the first winner of the cup. The sailing yacht America competed in a 16-yacht race around the Isle of Wight and came out as the winner. At that time, the six-man syndicate that owned America had bought it at a price of $20,000, and the renown gained after their win and achievement of the America's Cup let them sell their yacht for $25,000. So, in a way, winning the America's Cup can let you sell your winning vessel for a lot more than you originally paid for it, which can be considered a kind of prize money. People have been spending unbelievable amounts of money on this tournament just for the sake of winning, and it has been this way for a very long time. One such example of a big spender was Frank Packer, who revealed how deep his pockets were back in 1962. This Australian media person, Frank, had spent more than $700,000 to secure a victory in the America's Cup which eventually ended up in failure. A loss with an investment like that was a huge blow to him and his dignity. He had made multiple attempts for the trophy even after his devastating loss that year. His biggest matchup was against Baron Michel Biche, the founder and owner of Bic Pens. In a series of matches, Frank won 2 races in the final, but one was stripped after a protest by the host club. Still, his commitment and dedication showed how Australians were competitive even outside tennis, which was their main sport at the time. As mentioned before, the longest running streak in the history of sports was held by the NYYC as the champions of the America's Cup since 1857. But as all streaks are made to be broken, so was this one. In the 1983 America's Cup race, the NYYC was challenged by the Royal Perth Yacht Club. They put forward their patented 12-meter class yacht, which they proudly called Australia 2. The owner of this vessel was Alan Bond, who was a millionaire made through dealings in property, brewing, and broadcasting. The win he obtained did not come cheap at all. The man had reportedly spent almost $5 million towards his win. This too came after 3 already failed attempts at the throne. Things did not turn out well for the winner, however, as the victory had made him uncouth. He took his attention away from his tycoon and ended up bankrupt, owing more than $6 billion. He later ended up in prison for fraud. Whatever he ended up with, the fact still remains that he engraved a new name in the list of America's Cup title winners. You'd be right to think that these race-worthy boats cost massive amounts of money, but you'd still be surprised to know that the whole investment costs way more than just that. Since the beginning of the race, thousands of dollars were put into building, maintaining, running, and manning these yachts. If we look at the most recent winner of the America's Cup, Larry Ellison, and the AC-72 he bought for the defense against Emirates Team New Zealand, he spent nearly $300 million just for the sake of securing the title for his sailing team. Not only that, but this included the salary of 130 people on his sailing team. The leading members of the team each had at least $20,000 a month. Running it back all the way to the 1990s, we look at billionaire Bill Koch. With the Australians hosting the trophy for just over 5 years, it was time for the USA to take it back. And in comes Bill, a US oilman who spent over $65 million on his boat to secure the victory and take the trophy back home to the USA. Hosting such a huge event for international sailing teams from countries far and wide does cost a great deal of money. However, the revenue generated from such an event sometimes can bring millions of dollars into the economy of the host country. Such was seen as an example when New Zealand hosted the America's Cup in the early 2000s, namely 2000 and 2003. The event ended up creating countless jobs for the public, and the increase in the employment rate brought about an increase of $75 million in New Zealand's economy. No wonder the country supports its own bids. However, it isn't always a good idea to host such a big international event. The next America's Cup was in 2007 in Valencia, Spain. The city received $500 million for the initial investment for its regeneration, and reports suggest that it even received $3 billion as revenue for the city. This was short-lived, as bad governments and politicians can ruin the dreams of many a good-hearted citizen. Corrupt politicians and cheap credits turned this bustling city into nothing more than a memory, with most of the America's Cup buildings deserted and empty. The America's Cup is a pastime for billionaires. Yes, it's true, and we have the big names who have spoken for it themselves. They can lose year after year and still have enough money to try again, because losing a few $100 million does not affect them in the slightest. Even the recent winner of the America's Cup, Larry Ellison, said in the 1990s, "It's so cheap, I'm surprised more people don't do this." It's such an absurd thought, but it comes naturally to people having net worths of tens of billions of dollars. They mostly do it so that they can have the pleasure and luxury of driving the winning boat, as Ellison stated back in 2002. So, if you're looking to get into the race for the America's Cup, do reconsider. That was just a glimpse into the ridiculous amounts of money put into the competition. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more amazing content, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.